Hi guys, so this is a video about the area of a circle. So first of all, before we look at area of a circle formula and things like that, one of the basic things that you need to understand before you look at it is that you need to understand the difference between these two words, so radius and diameter. So these are things that you should learn kind of at an early enough age. The radius of a circle is the distance from the center of the circle to the outside, to the edge. So that's the radius from the center to the outside. So if the radius was say 3 centimeters in this circle, uh, and you're asked to find out the diameter, well, the diameter is always going to be double what the radius is. The diameter is the distance the full way across the circle through the center. So it goes from one edge to the other edge, but must go through the center. So if we said that the center of that circle there, from there to there, was 3 centimeters, well, double that then would be another 3 centimeters. So 3 centimeters and 3 centimeters is 6 centimeters. So in this circle, the diameter is 6 centimeters, the radius is 3 centimeters. Likewise, if you were told what the diameter was first, so let's say we were told that the diameter of this circle is 10 centimeters. From one edge to the other edge through the center is 10 centimeters, and we were asked to work out what the radius is. Well, the radius would be from the center to the outside, so the radius would be half of the diameter. So in this case, it would be 5 because half of 10 is 5. So there's a couple of basic things before we start because you need to understand that before you look at area of a circle. So radius is always half of the diameter, and diameter is always 2 times what the radius is. So always, depending on what you're given in these questions, you might have to either double the radius or divide the diameter by 2. Um, so let's look at this anyway. So the formula for area of a circle is pi multiplied by radius squared, and it can be simplified down into pi r squared. Pi r squared is usually easier to remember. So uh, that's all it is. It's one of the smallest formula you'll ever have to look at in maths. So in this case, anyway, the radius of the circle, well, from the distance, this is from the center to the outside here, is 4 centimeters. Therefore, I'm just going to put it into this formula. So pi multiplied by 4 squared, and you can go to your calculator then. So if you go to your calculator, press the pi button, press multiply, press 4, and press squared, then what you should get is 16 pi. So your calculator, or most calculators, will give you 16 pi here. Now that answer is actually in terms of pi. So that answer there is actually in terms of pi. So that is the right answer, but it's given to us in terms of pi. So in a question in an exam, you might be asked to give your answer in terms of pi. If you're asked to give your answer in terms of pi, then that's it. Obviously, uh, you might be asked as well to give your answer to a certain amount of decimal places. So if you are, you need to press the SD button from there when you're given 16 pi, and you should get. So if I was to round off my answer from the calculator to 2 decimal places here, I'd get 50.27. And then that's centimeters squared. So that's all it is. That's the area of that circle then. Um, the pi as well. So pi is a number. It's 3.14. It comes from the relationship between the circumference of any circle and its diameter. Pi 3.14 is actually simplified down. Pi goes on forever. So you might have heard of pi before. If not, you know now that pi is 3.14 basically, and there's a button on your calculator for it as well. It's usually down at the bottom of the calculator, and you might have to press shift first and then press the times 10 button. It's usually above that button on the calculator, but have a look around for it. That's the symbol. It's kind of like a T, but almost like two T's stuck together, really. Um, Okay, so here's two questions. So if you want to pause the video now and attempt these two, so what you need to do is you need to find the area for both of them. So what you're going to do is you're going to do pi r squared for both of them. Now just be careful with question two there. You might have noticed already that you're not actually told what the radius is. So you need to think back to what we were saying at the start of the video. You're given the diameter in this one. So you're told that 14 is the diameter because the full way across. So you need to work out the radius from there first. And then once you know the radius, you can put it into the formula. So let's have a go there now and then play it on and I'll show the answers. Okay, so I added in there as well that to round your answer to two decimal places. So usually when you're asked to calculate something with pi in it, you'll generally get an answer that's going to be a big long decimal. So you'll usually be asked to round off your answer, or else you'll be asked to give it your answer in terms of pi, like I showed you before. So here anyway, you're going to do pi multiplied by 5 squared because 5 is the radius of this circle here. So you can just put all that into your calculator if you want. Pi multiplied by 5 squared. And obviously, first of all, it's going to give you 25 pi. So that is your answer in terms of pi. That is actually the right answer. But I asked you here to give your answer to two decimal places. So if you press the ST button in your calculator, uh, it gives you 78.539. So that's going to round to 0.54. So that's going to be 78.54 centimeters squared. The second question then, so what you should have done, hopefully, we don't want the diameter. The diameter is no good to us with this formula because the formula is pi r squared. So the radius then has to be 7 because if the diameter is 14, we divide it by 2, we get 7. So we're going to do pi multiplied by 7 squared here. So if I put that into the calculator, first of all, it's going to give us 49 pi. Now that is in terms of pi. So if we press the SD button, we get 153.94. And that's when we round it off to two decimal places. It's actually 153.93804. So that's rounded off to two decimal places then. And our area, again, anytime we give an answer with area, it's always in centimeter squared or meter squared or something squared.